Now at 10, lovers of reptiles gather at Perry State Park in Missouri for a Hug a Herp event. Plus, the city of Lamar, Missouri is celebrating its 100th anniversary. And a local lavender patch kicks off the start of summer with a Lavender Fest in Fort Scott.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
2 people are dead after a police chase in southeast Kansas ends with a vehicle hitting 2 semis. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Amber Jenkins. It happened on Highway 75 in Coffee County. Authorities say they were chasing 2 suspects in one vehicle on the highway. They say that the vehicle tried to pass a semi on the right side of the shoulder, but when it tried to get back in the lane, it was hit by the semi. It caused it to go into the other lane where it was hit by a second semi. Both suspects, Terrell Moore and Gail White, both of Omaha, Nebraska, were killed. The drivers of both semis were not seriously hurt. A judge has sentenced a Mount Vernon man for his involvement in a methamphetamine distribution. James Mangold pleaded guilty to the distribution of methamphetamine and possessing firearms in connection with a drug trafficking crime earlier this year. Authorities searched Mangold's residence and found firearms, including a Sig Sauer pistol and a Kel-Tec pistol, as well as a methamphetamine, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Mangold will serve 16 years and 11 months in federal prison. Authorities in Pittsburgh arrested a suspect in a burglary of U.S. Cellular. Last Tuesday, police responded to an alarm at U.S. Cellular where they discovered a broken window and an electric meter removed from the business. The suspect was found in a home in Pittsburgh where the stolen items were also recovered. Authorities say the suspect was arrested for felony burglary, felony theft, and misdemeanor criminal damage. Meteorologist Chloe Arroyo joins us for the first look at weather.
Yeah, so we're continuing to track these severe storms off to our west. They're entering pretty close to the metro. Pretty much in the next 30 minutes to an hour, we'll start to see that heavy rainfall and those storms enter into southeastern Kansas and northeastern Oklahoma. This storm right here was severe warned, and now it's pretty much just rain. It's kind of given away and given all of its energy to this storm off to the west. We're continuing to see this line become severe. It was tornado warned from a QLCS storm just a moment ago, but that has since expired. The tornado threat is lowering quite a bit, but the damaging wind threat is still pretty significant, and this extends all the way down to northern Texas. Now, coming up in a bit, I'll have the full timeline on this storm and what you can expect later on tonight. That's all coming up here in a bit.
The Friends of the Joplin Public Library is celebrating their first anniversary with a special event. The Friends of the Joplin Public Library is a nonprofit organization that offers membership to individuals, families, businesses, and other organizations, regardless of cardholder status or city of residence. This celebration was held at the Joplin Public Library's community room.
Friends of the Joplin Public Library as an organization is important because our library does so much for the community, and so we're here to help maintain that and even increase the reach of our library.
The event showcased how the Friends group has been contributed funding for programs, new books, and equipment that benefit library patrons. The Lavender Patch and Farm in Fort Scott today hosted a Lavender Festival. The event included tours of the fields, essential oil demonstration, wreath making, and hands-on experience with lavender wand. Attendees were able to take photos with flowers and enjoy lavender lemonade and ice cream after the tours.
Normally in the middle of June, the lavender is mostly blooming. This year, because of the drought late last summer, a lot of the lavender we had to cut back, so it's much later than normal, and of course the plants are much smaller. But we still have lavender, so we're still celebrating lavender and sharing that with people that want to come by.
The festival is an annual spring event for the farm. Perry State Park in Missouri today held a Hug a Herp event to help the community learn more about reptiles and amphibians. Attendees were able to hold reptiles while learning various facts and dispelling rumors and myths about them. Take-home crafts were available for everyone at the event.
I teach people about the reptiles in Missouri, just the common species and the native species. I do my research, and I want to conserve these species and teach more about them, because I hate when they get killed or they get harmed because people don't know how to properly identify them.
The event began at 10 a.m. and ended at 3 p.m. The city of Lamar, Missouri is celebrating its 100th anniversary. The city today hosted a party in the city park. It featured plenty of fun activities, food trucks, and a beverage garden, and will end with a free concert by a group called the Mixtapes. Officials say the party is a great way to get the community out to celebrate the city's history.
It's just a way to thank our community for all the support they've given the park over the last 100 years. It's great to see all of our community come together here and just be able to have a good time together, and most of it's free.
The party will last until 9:30 tonight. Coming up, we take a look at how the nation's capital is celebrating Juneteenth. Plus, Texas Governor Greg Abbott and other officials visit tornado-ravaged Perryton. This Monday is Juneteenth, and Americans across the country celebrate and reflect on African American history. CBS reporter Randy Ayla reports from Washington, D.C.
From jewelry making to musical performances, today locals and visitors were able to submerge themselves in an interactive history lesson at the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
I would like to be here to see the history of Juneteenth, the African American Museum as well, and I also just want to see what's going on in Washington, D.C.
I've been trying to come here since it opened, and I just never worked out the timing, and obviously it's the perfect weekend to do it.
Since its opening in 2016, the museum has always celebrated Juneteenth. Today, more than 5,500 people will venture in and outside the museum's walls. Deputy Director Michelle Commander says it's the first big Juneteenth celebration post-pandemic.
Today, it's so important for us to think about the roots of our country as we talk a lot about liberation and freedom.
For Dallas, Texas native Andrene Edwards, being here today is personal. She says she wants to honor her ancestors and the enslaved people from Galveston, Texas, who didn't learn about their freedom until 2 years later.
We in Texas, we was the last Black American that was free from slavery, and now that we are, I'm here to enjoy it.
I think Juneteenth, I'm glad it's getting recognition now. I think it's very important that it's a holiday. It's been celebrated since its inception, and the fact that everyone else is celebrating it now, I think, is a really good thing.
And speaking of Juneteenth, Bookhouse Cinema and Easttown Dreams District in Joplin celebrate Juneteenth, a day-long celebration featuring a variety of activities. The event features vendors, a 5K run, free movies, and dance performances.
It's a celebration of heritage, it's a celebration of freedom, it's a celebration for everybody to be included. Because July the 4th, while that's considered America's holiday, America's Freedom Day, and that's fine, I celebrate it too, love it. But we also need to make sure that everybody is included.
The event continues into the weekend with its Sunday Soul Food event. A little later, a 13-year-old girl pinned to her bed by a fallen tree.
Tracking severe weather just west of the metro. I'll have the full details and more coming up next. Well, we're tracking severe weather right now just west of the metro, and that's what we're going to continue to track heading into later on this evening. Taking a look at our Indigo Sky Casino and Resort just west of Seneca, Missouri. It's calm right now. Consider this the calm before the storm because we've got a lot of widespread storms, a lot of which are severe at this point. This is what we're watching right now. We also have this system further down south that's not affecting our viewing area. So this is what we're most concerned with. We had a severe thunderstorm warning just in this area and has since turned into rain, pushing off to our west where all that energy is. But here's what we're really tracking right now. This entire line of severe weather is what's most prominent. All of them are severe warned. So we could see a lot of heavy rainfall and heavy winds with this, and there already has been some radar indicated hail along with this line of storms, and it will continue to push off due east pretty much. And this line extends pretty long, so this is not a small storm at all. It extends up into northern Texas along with that entering into western Oklahoma. So that's going to be pushing off to our east. Within the next hour or so, we'll see that enter into the metro. Temperatures right now into the upper 70s across the board. We've cooled off quite a bit, but we're going to continue to see a cold front push through along with those storms. We saw those temperatures warming up quite a bit. We had that southerly wind and that is what interfered with those cooler temperatures, bringing us an environment very unstable and favorable for those storms. A lot of rainfall associated with this storm as well. We're seeing Joplin just a little over an inch, Lamar a little over half an inch, and as we head a little further north, though this is projected to be about 1/10 of an inch, I can see this increasing even more than that. So we'll continue to see the heavy rainfall, and I want to really reiterate the fact that rainfall is a huge part of this, though the drought may need it. We could see a lot of flooding associated with this storm because we'll see pretty consistent rain anywhere from the next 5-6 hours or so, and we'll see an update on that afterwards. We'll also see a second round come in early Sunday morning. That's when we're going to continue to see those storms. They'll be a little less severe at that point, but that rainfall is what you'll keep in mind, I sure hope, including that wind, and the hail risk is still there nonetheless. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. If it continues to persist and become even more significant, we'll go live along with that. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast. Really the biggest thing to keep in mind tonight, pretty much right now, we're watching that weather right now. The severe storms later on into tonight. That'll persist into early Sunday morning. Then we'll see a second round of heavy storms, but then a whole lot of sunshine throughout the next week, Monday through Friday. Except for Wednesday, we'll see a slight chance for some showers, but aside from that, sunny and hot ahead.
Well, it is definitely summer in the 4 states, but hopefully the severe storms don't mess up too many plans for Father's Day.
Let's hope.
We will see. I know you'll keep an eye on it. Thank you. And when severe weather strikes, you'll want to stay informed. You can do that by scanning this QR code. It will take you to the KOAM News Now YouTube page, where our weather team will live stream during severe weather events to give you updated information. While you're there, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Lightning streaked across the night sky in Mobile, Alabama as thunderstorm passed through the southern city. The National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile and surrounding communities, alerting residents of strong winds and a possibility of hail. A tornado warning was also issued, the Weather Service said. This footage is by Twitter user at twood4438, shows lightning illuminating the cloudy night sky in Mobile earlier today. Severe weather is expected to continue, according to the National Weather Service. Texas Governor Greg Abbott visited tornado-ravaged Perryton today. The governor received a briefing and spoke about the state's response to the severe weather from Thursday that impacted the Panhandle communities. The governor was joined by Perryton Mayor Carrie Simmons, Senator Ted Cruz, and other officials. The National Weather Service office in Amarillo tweeted that a preliminary investigation has determined that an EF3 tornado hit Perryton. CBS News reports at least 3 people were killed in Perryton and dozens were injured. Local fire officials estimate that close to 200 homes in Perryton were either damaged or destroyed by the twister. A 13-year-old girl in Florida was trapped in her bed early Friday morning after a fallen tree pinned her down, according to local fire rescue. Fire officials say a chainsaw was brought out in to help cut off the parts of the tree and free the girl, who was then taken to a hospital for treatment. Reporter Troy Campbell has more.
Ocala Fire Rescue says when they responded here early Friday morning, they discovered a 13-year-old inside the home trapped with a tree limb. We spoke with a neighbor who says he ran across the street when he heard the crash, and he says this block construction of the home could have been the difference between life and death.
I think it saved her, because if it was a wooden house, I think she could have possibly been injured really badly or even worse. Because, I mean, you can see how big that tree is.
Stephen Taylor says just before 3:30 a.m. Friday, he heard a loud crash along the 3700 block of Southeast 8th Street. Ocala Fire Rescue says they responded after a large tree limb fell through the ceiling of a home. Ocala Fire Rescue says the 13-year-old girl was trapped in her bed by a large tree limb estimated to be 10 inches in diameter. Fire officials say the girl's family members anxiously watched on as rescuers tried to free the girl.
The mother she was the one that seemed the most upset. Of course you would be if it's your daughter, you know, that's natural.
Investigators say before they were able to use their chainsaws to attempt to free the girl, they had to make sure the tree outside was stable enough to prevent the rest of the tree from falling.
after that, that's when all the fire rescue and stuff went in there to get her out and all that stuff. And they were worried because it was like trapped right across her legs.
Once the all clear was given, rescuers used the chainsaws to free the girl. Ocala Fire Rescue says the girl was transported as a trauma alert to Shands Hospital. Taylor says he's concerned more trees in the area could also come crashing down.
We just had some trees cut down and they said them big trees would never fall. This tree basically looks like one of these. You wouldn't think in a million years it would fall because it's strong as a rock, basically.
Thankfully, Ocala Fire Rescue says the 13-year-old was alert and speaking during the entire rescue. We're also told Ocala Police and Marion County Fire Rescue helped in the rescue effort.
Still ahead, a Big 12 basketball coach has resigned after a DUI charge. Plus, the Kansas City Royals look to snap their losing streak. We'll have the highlights next in sports.
Well, we're only a few days away from the official start of summer in Missouri. As for both Major League Baseball teams in the state, the Royals and Cardinals are going to quickly get this summer over with. The Cardinals at the Mets in the Big Apple and Citi Field. Tied game, top of the second. Paul Goldschmidt, laser beam to right field. That ball sneaks out of here for a 2-run home run. Cards take a 3-1 lead. Top of the third now, same score. How about the rookie Jordan Walker? His eyes are getting weary and his back is getting tight. Solo home run, Cardinals out in front, 4-1. Bottom of the fifth now, Luis Giormo gets a good piece of that one, and that one's out of here. 2-run homer, puts St. Louis up top 4-3. Bottom of the ninth now, Jordan Hicks on the mound. Giormo again at the plate. Let's see if he can hit 103 miles per hour. I don't think so. Brandon Nimmo now, your turn, 103, can't connect. Then Hicks with some off speed, thank you very much. Cardinals snap a 6-game losing streak. St. Louis beats New York 5-3. Royals versus Angels in Kauffman Stadium. Bottom of the fourth inning. MJ Melendez takes this ball on a trip out to the Pepsi porch. 2-run homer ties the game at 2. Angels with a 7-2 lead. Top of the seventh now, Shohei Ohtani. Oh, brother, this guy rakes. Solo home run to dead center. My goodness, 8-2 lead for LA. But now things get interesting. Royals down 8-6 in the eighth inning. Bobby Witt Jr., the bases loaded, floats this one into left field. 2 runs will score. We are tied 8-8. Bottom of the ninth now, game tied 9-9. Rookie Samad Taylor at the plate, making his major league debut. Center field, and that one hits the wall. Taylor's first MLB career hit is a walk-off winner. Royals snap a 10-game losing streak, and they beat the Angels 10-9. Well, some news out of the Big 12 earlier this morning. West Virginia men's basketball coach Bob Huggins was arrested Friday night in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for DUI. And just moments ago, Huggins informed the team that he will resign. Huggins' breath test was determined that his blood alcohol content was 0.21%, which is more than twice the limit in the state of Pennsylvania. This is the second incident in the past 6 weeks regarding Huggins' issues off of the court. Huggins is already suspended for the first 3 games of West Virginia's basketball season due to a homophobic slur that he made on a phone call with a local radio show in Cincinnati only a month ago. Huggins is the former Kansas State head coach. He is 4th all-time in college basketball wins for a coach in Division I. Once again, the news broke moments ago, Huggins intends to resign and retire as basketball coach at West Virginia. The College World Series is opening up in Omaha this weekend. There's plenty of good teams and matchups to watch on Saturday. Wake Forest and Stanford kicking things off in Omaha today. This is the Demon Deacons' first College World Series trip since 1955. Wake Forest makes the most of their opportunity in the opening round game, defeating Stanford 3-2. Stanford has now lost the opening round 3 straight years in a row. Then the nightcap tonight, the LSU Tigers are taking on the Tennessee Volunteers. LSU defeats Tennessee 6-3 tonight. LSU will play Wake Forest and Tennessee will play Stanford on Monday. And also one thing I want to mention for the College World Series at Oral Roberts out of Tulsa, they will play tomorrow night against Florida at 6 o'clock.
All right, sounds like it's going to be a good game.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back. To be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. Today, the Kansas Humane Society hosted their free microchip vaccine clinic. The clinic happened at Linwood Recreational Center in Wichita. Lines were out the door as the first 200 pets were admitted into the clinic. The Kansas Humane Society says microchipping is the animals' help with the ongoing problem of overpopulation.
Oh,
I need to get my dog into a clinic, so that's a good reminder.
there you go.
And what's going on for weather?
Yeah, so here's a last look at the live radar. We're going to expect to see some storms enter into the viewing area within the next 30 minutes to an hour. So keep your devices charged, have your shoes right next to you in the event of a warning, and really keep that KOAM app updated. And if we go live, make sure you're tuning in as well.
Yes, be prepared. And what is going on with sports?
Final sports note, Samad Taylor is a cool scene out there at Coppin Stadium today to get his first hit in the big leagues is a winner. So
Hey.
Awesome to see that.
Better than what I could do. So that's our time for now. And thank you for making us a part of your night.